Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the official closing part of the SADC summit that has been taking place since early this week here at Letshego headquarters in the heart of Pretoria. And as you know, throughout the live coverage of the summit, we've been engaging with different leaders who are part of the SADC region formation, of course. And right now we turn our attention to Lesotho, that of course is top of the agenda, focusing on the peace and security part of the SADC agenda here. And as you know, that country, a lot of political instability that has turned the focus internationally to the Mountain Kingdom. And to take us through some of the deliberations that have been taking place here at the summit on Lesotho and other matters relating to the region as a collective, I'm now joined by Lesotho's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, and that is Letshego Maphuti. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Patricia.
In short, we are now at the last part of the summit. It has been a very long week, especially for the ministers who have been here since Monday, if I'm correct. Just take us through perhaps what has stand out for you.
Yes, you are quite right that Lesotho has been topping the charts of agenda of SADC. Yeah, on Monday, we had two meetings which are very, very critical. The first meeting was that of double track of security chiefs, where our Army General was here to present a case before the Army Generals. And immediately after that meeting was a double track of Ministerial Committee of the organ. This is where we made a decision regarding the plea that was made by Lesotho. Basically what we are saying is the Prime Minister in his inaugural speech said he's committed into ensuring that all the recommendations of Commission of Inquiry are put into place, and the decision that SADC took with regards to instability and political security in Lesotho are also put in place. So basically what we did was to tell SADC that one, we note the extension of Oversight Committee by 18 months. We also requested that the Oversight Committee be beefed up with some of high-ranking officials from the Army, to ensure that when we put all those recommendations into place, that we don't have resistance. As well as if there is a resistance that can arise, then basically SADC will be in the clear picture of what is happening, so that we don't implement. After implementation, when we hit an impasse, we go back to SADC and say we're having a problem. So we want SADC to be right when we started to do those implementation. And you will agree with me, those are long overdue. They should have long been implemented. Yes.
Now, most of the leaders who spoke yesterday during the heads of state gathering that was opened yesterday praised Lesotho for having peaceful elections, but they also, of course, raised concern that it seems like the country is not 100% stable. Yet there are still teething issues that need attention to make sure that peace, security and stability, long-lasting stability, is fostered in that particular country. Now, can you maybe give us a glimpse of what is the peace situation in your country right now? How does matters look? For somebody who does not know, who has not recently been in Lesotho, how would you paint the picture?
Since the elections, the 3rd June elections, and assuming of power of the third coalition government, everything has been relatively calm. There's never been any criminality that have been reported in the country. That the issue is going forward into implementation, going forward into paving a roadmap for the reforms, and as well as going forward to ensuring that there is a multi-stakeholder national dialogue that takes place. On the 9th, we received Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa as a facilitator. He also was alluding the same, that We should ensure that there's a national dialogue that is driven by Basotho, that is homebrewed, that is homegrown, and is owned by Basotho. And on the 10th, Prime Minister sent an envoy of high-ranking ministers and the Army Command to Lady Brand to have a meeting with soldiers who are in exile and try to work on modalities of ensuring that they are safely back in the country, and how to ensure that we normalize their lives and compensation and other things, and as well as trying to ensure reintegration back into the army. If not reintegrated, let's see where they can be deployed, and those who are old, let's see if they can retire and get their package and normalize their lives. But relatively, like Friday, we had a double troika summit where also the Prime Minister tabled his plans of ensuring that the recommendations of Commission of Inquiry and the SADC summit, SADC's decisions are put in place. So I believe we are relatively on the right track as it is.
Are you happy with the SADC Oversight Committee that has been appointed to guide the leaders of Lesotho to, of course, make sure that they implement all the reforms that have been tabled before them?
The Oversight Committee played a very pivotal role in ensuring stability in our country. If it was not there, I don't think we would be at a juncture where we are. So the extension that has been given to it by 18 more months really says we are going to see the end of problems in the country, as well as the Prime Minister asked SADC Oversight Committee to be beefed up. Beefing it up meaning there has to be an element of military inside it. Other people are actually misinterpreting the whole statement where the Prime Minister said SADC Oversight Committee should be beefed up. They said he is talking about the country being South Africa to go and invade Lesotho. No, this is not the case. He is saying that when he implements, he wants element of military within the SADC Oversight Committee to be there to observe and act as a early warning mechanism in the event of resistance.
We often hear reports in the media from especially your analysts who would, of course, be observing such trends in the various countries, and some of the criticism that they would often level against the countries, especially in Africa, is that there are decisions made, agreements that are reached, and leaders will always, promise that they will commit themselves to doing 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we go back home, leaving such a huge gathering, such as the summit that we have been here, then they blatantly fail to implement the reform. So what now? Can we trust that Lesotho will do the right thing this time, or is it just a wait-and-see game?
I think for us as a country, if we can fail to produce roadmap, can fail to implement some of the decisions by November 30th, we will be testing patience of SADC. So we don't have option, but rather to implement everything.
All right, I think we'll leave it at that. Pula.
Thank you.
And that was, of course, Lesotho Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, Letshego Maphuti, joining us. They're giving us a guarantee that the leaders of Lesotho are committed to doing the right thing to ensure peace, security and stability in the Mountain Kingdom. While we wait for other leaders to join us here and, of course, tell us what they have decided on their respective countries and how they view the SADC summit, let's go to an ad break.